What's going on, everybody?
What's happening? What's happening?
Episode 173. Let's go. Thank you all for coming in and joining the live stream, whether it be right now, recording live, or just when you can make the time. If you're watching this late, if you're watching this, like Seth Everett always says,
What's going on, everybody?
oh,
What's happening? What's happening? I like it's so funny how it does that. It's all behind.
It's like when you do live TV, but it gives you like the 10 seconds, or like live radio to hang up on somebody, or yeah.
It's hilarious, dude. Freaking TV. I'm getting updates on like my ESPN app. 4 seconds left. I'm watching the game. Like 30 seconds left.
I hate that shit. Like scores in hockey or yeah, I hate it. I have to put my phone away when that happens. Okay, we are good to go. Sean, I'm going to do the intro.
Do it, brother.
All right.
I'm maybe
just mute you.
You're good. Yeah, I'm muting 3, 2, 1.
Okay. All right, let's see if my settings are all good, just to be sure. Can never be too careful. That random time you plug in your microphone and all of a sudden you're going off of the computer's stuff, and all of a sudden I'm going back to edit. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I sound like crap. So everything looks good to go. Didn't change the gain really at all. Okay, let's go. 173. Glad you're all with us. Let's go. Everyone say hi in the chat. Let's do it for 173. Let's get 10 seconds of silence in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What is happening? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are coming to you live or wherever you get your podcast from our respective bat caves. This is the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 173. Let's get into this. We got a wild week. Speaking of wild card weekend is here for the NFL, so we will recap the end of the regular season and preview the handful of games we have going on this weekend. The NCAA football championship, not really a game, but we still got to talk about it. Georgia Bulldogs are champions. We will discuss baseball what ifs. I saw a couple videos, reels or TikToks. Me and Sean will discuss this. A little teaser. Sean has no idea what I'm talking about. And the Sharks win. I got my hoodie on, so why not have a little NHL check-in for this month? And in comic books, we did not get any books Christmas week, so I had a chance to actually get all my books, and we have tons to get into. DC, Marvel, Image, Mark Miller, sorry. And in comics, we didn't get a chance to get our books 2 weeks ago, so I got plenty to catch up on. DC, Marvel, Image, Boom Studios. Mark Miller has his own little universe. He has a book coming out this week. And then in news, the Golden Globes has just finished tonight. We have some breaking news, some never-before-seen awards winning from the MCU. Stephanie McMahon, our own Stephanie McMahon, resigns as co-CEO of the WWE, and we have some Disney World and Disneyland news. And of course, The Last of Us premieres this Sunday. But all that and more, so grab a drink, smoke 'em if you got 'em. This is episode 173 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Let's go.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Okay.
That's hecka funny because I'm looking at books for 111. Release till on January 10th. What day is it today?
Dude, it's okay because Alex told Mark that DC tried to get like hella books out before the end of the year, maybe for like revenue recognition. So I got
Batman and Joker, Deadly Duo.
Right, I got Deadly Duo. I got the freaking Flash already. There's I got Batman the week before it was supposed to come out. I'm like, remember that I was telling you guys that email? I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, this, and this is for the previous week. I'm like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
So
now we're just actually seeing it. Okay, right. That's cool.
So for all of you still listening, when I shout out the comic books in a little bit, DC might be wrong. You actually might already have that in your hand. So I'm not really sure. I just went off of what I don't have. Like I took Flash off the list. I took the Deadly Duo off the list because I know I already have it. So Okay.
Nice.
Oh man, we are starting this episode before 9:30. Oh, let's go. Good times.
I'm gonna place a bet right now. I'm placing a bet right now.
And the episode before 11 o'clock.
Oh,
There we go. Okay, back live in 3, 2, and 1. And as that glorious music fades, myself and Sean are here to collide the worlds in sports and comics yet again this week. Welcome in, everybody, to the Comic Bookies podcast. We are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Tomorrow, January 11th, 1/1/2023 is New Comic Book Day, so go out there to your local comic book store. If it's not T.I., if it's not Alex, he's open up Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, but regardless, go and support your local comic book store. We love to each and every week, and Sean, I will be there physically on Saturday.
all right. Saturday. Oh, I unfortunately will be out of town because it's Chantel's birthday/graduation getaway. So we got a cabin out in Sonora area, so it is a little getaway for the family.
Nice. Sonora. Wait, we're not. You're not getting any snow. Like, is there possible? Oh no, Sean.
Oh no, there is snow. So it's gonna be a good time. They've been to this cabin before,
Right.
So it's gonna be taking Casey for his first little snow trip, bro. So we're
Oh,
excited.
that's cool. I mean, and
Yeah.
the weather wise, I think Saturday, Sunday, this upcoming weekend is towards the end of this little, thing we have going on. Because I think like I saw Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I only have clouds in Tracy.
Oh, you only have clouds. Oh, it's funny you bring that up, Michael, because a couple hours ago I was looking. I think Thursday we hit no rain. Friday, Saturday, Sunday we hit rain. Maybe one of those days we might get like just clouds. But from what the iPhone weather, which is never wrong, says we have rain through next Thursday.
Oh,
Oh.
well, let's check Mr. Steve Jobs' creation. Let's
see what Mr.
Yeah, because
Jobs
I
has
checked
to
that
say
like a couple
about
hours
this.
ago. So Tracy, California, for next week we have. Okay, so Tuesday's now upgraded to a little bit of rain, and then Wednesday, Thursday, nothing. So I mean,
Man, lucky you. I guess it was this Newark Fremont area. I mean, who knows,
I
bro?
mean,
all this
it's gonna
damn
change
rain.
by the hour, But
The way things are, bro, it's crazy. I think, if our streets are not flooded like some of these crazy images we're seeing, man, then I think we're one of the lucky ones. It's crazy,
right,
bro.
yeah, this is pretty crazy. Let me fix my screen here. Everyone can see my beautiful mug a little better. I know it's. We have that little creek on the other side of our fence, like in our front yard, out by the main street. It's always dead dry, and it was a flowing river, like I sent you guys that video. Luckily, we haven't been getting too much rain. What always gets me is because, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show, but I have one loose fence panel in the front yard. And
Starts with one, but
and so when the wind, when we hear the wind humming, I'm like, oh no, So that's when I started to get concerned. So who knows? Who knows?
yeah, hopefully it gets better, bro. Like I said, man, I'm seeing all these crazy, weather, these trees falling over, these streets flooded. I've seen a statistic. I think we had more rain in these past 2 weeks in this city than they had like in a 6-month or 9-month span all of last year. So
Dang.
again, there's pros to all this rain, but again, you just gotta keep people safe. I think my father-in-law said the death toll's up to like 17 people, I think.
Well, yeah, and Capitola too.
Nuts, bro. The damn freaking pier broke in half. So.
Yeah, that's insane. So, but anyways, welcome in everyone, all the fans. As you can see, if you're watching live or just listening, you can't hear his voice. Mark is under the weather this week, so hopefully he'll be back next week for next week's episode 174. Yeah, so how's your week going, Sean? We had a great first episode of the podcast last week. First week back to work after the long break. Not much work to be done, but, besides the point, back to the normal, kids in school, everything's back to normal. So how are you?
Good, man. Like you said, episode 172, first episode of the year was banging. Great episode. 173 is going to be even better. Mark, hopefully you get better, a little under the weather like Mike said. But nah, man, early start to the week. I will be in office tomorrow. I will physically be in the office at Lamb the second or third time. And I think 2.5, who knows, maybe 3 years, I think. But yeah, I'll go physically be there. So it's good that we're, like you said, starting before 9:30, probably ending before 11. So man, I'm feeling good right now. Right? I'm doing good.
Dude, if only you would have done that last week, because I was actually on site on Wednesday. Now this week I'm not on site until Thursday. So if you could swing it to where you're on site again next week on Wednesday, I'll be there at 6 p.m.
We'll make it happen, man. Hey,
Nice.
the crazy thing is, to the people who don't know, my previous job, I worked with Mike, I think 5 years. And my current job, I left Mike like, hey, maybe we'll cross paths again. And sure enough, we're at the same employer now.
Mm-hmm.
So been fortunate, man. Best friends getting to work together. It works out pretty
Oh yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. Shoot, man. Nothing else going on. Just kind of cleaning up from the holidays,
Hmm.
taking down. Obviously, I haven't been able to take down the lights and stuff because all the rain and just, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to chance getting up on the roof and just, falling and killing myself. So just,
You don't want to be Harry.
no, exactly that too. Exactly that too. But yeah, man, let's get into the nuts and bolts, the meat and potatoes, peanut butter and jelly, as you will, of this podcast. So before we do, actually, I want to go ahead and start the episode by saying that right now we have a Instagram giveaway. We have 10 number one books to give away in the next few weeks. So it's on Instagram right now. Same, rules apply. Follow us, follow our sponsor, Treasure Island Comics, like the post, and then all you have to do is just comment with two people who you think would love these books. And as a kicker, you'll get an extra entry if you come here and subscribe to this YouTube page right here, the Comic Bookies, and all you have to do is just take a screenshot and then, send it to us, on Instagram. It's kind of hard because sometimes I don't get a notification if you subscribe. So it's like, and I can't, unlike Instagram, I can't go in unless it's you can do it on the desktop. I can't go in and see every individual subscriber. So like, oh, this person just subscribed. You know what I'm saying? It's super, super tough. So to make it easy, I went ahead and did it on Instagram, and I'm saying it now. Please go and take a screenshot of yourself subscribed, and then that way you'll get the entry. So, yeah, so good luck to everyone.
That's awesome, bro. Man, like Mike said, 10 freaking books. Free stuff, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the last giveaway we had was a huge success. We had hundreds of comments, people chiming in and
Right.
stuff. And to this one, Mike, God, guys, it takes freaking 2 minutes to what Mike explained for
I
you
know.
guys to do. Maybe a minute and a half if you're super quick. So guys, just take a little bit of time and effort, and hey, you get a chance to win some free books. Again, fun little giveaway, and hopefully, the more the merrier. We look forward to giving them out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, dude. So this week is sports. Sports this week. There's plenty to get into. Actually, we usually get into November, December, January. It's like the end of the college football season, and then it's only NFL. But I got some stuff to talk about this week. More importantly,
I like it.
most importantly though, the NFL Week 18 has come and gone, and then the wild card weekend is here. I think the 49ers are the first game actually of the week, right? Like Saturday at 1:30.
Third game versus Seattle. Yeah, they probably had to put us in that first slot to kind of just get it over with. I was hoping we'd get maybe that Monday, Sunday game, a little extra
That's right.
rest.
There's a
But
Monday
yeah,
game.
there is a Monday game. They want to spread it out, so there's one game a day starting Saturday, which we are again that Saturday game. So yeah, I guess we'll see a third time versus Seattle. See how that goes, and fun weekend too. I know we got Tampa, I believe, versus
Dallas.
Dallas on Monday.
Yeah.
And I forgot who the Sunday game is. Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah. Aren't there two games on Saturday?
It might
Because
be.
there's four games, right? How many games are there?
It should be actually four games. So maybe it's 1-2-1 or 2-1-1.
You would figure Sunday would be
here.
you would figure Sunday would be the one that they would have the most games on.
Wild card weekend we have on Saturday. You're right, Miguel. We have the Niners hosting Seattle at 1:30, as well as Jacksonville
Oh.
hosting the LA Chargers. And that game is going to be super
They better-
fun on Sunday.
They better not play how they did on Sunday, or they're going to get their ass whooped
Yeah.
by LA.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely a division game, and you can see a whole bunch of it. Buffalo on Sunday morning hosting Miami, followed by the G-Men from New York visiting Minnesota. And then we have a third Sunday game, Sunday Night Football, Cincinnati
Cool.
hosting the Ravens.
I can't wait for that one.
That's one of those, man, NFC South or NFC North.
MC North, yeah.
Yeah, those division, man. I mean, they played last week. Those guys don't freaking like each other, man. Those four teams in that division, I mean, other than against the Browns, but man, just freaking banging heads, clanking pads. So
Right.
that's going to be a fun Sunday night game. And of course, Dallas visiting Tampa on Monday night. Will Dallas get off the playoff schneid and be able to upset Tom Brady?
I don't know. I mean, I personally think there's two games here that for me, I would, at least as far as money line is concerned, and it's probably looking like the two highest spreads. I think, yes, it is. I put my money on the Niners getting by Seattle pretty easily, and the Bills getting by the Dolphins pretty easily. I think that's an easy. I'm not a rocket scientist throwing that out there, but yeah.
Yeah, I know Bill Nye the Science Guy. You definitely aren't, Mike, but you might be right on that one because Buffalo's going to be facing, I think, Skylar Thompson. I think Tua will not be active in this game.
Shoot.
It's going to be a cold-ass Buffalo. And, I know the whole situation with the player who got hurt. I mean, they're playing inspired football, bro. You can't make up what they did last week with that kick return touchdown first play of the game.
I know, right? Yeah, you can't write that. That's like the whole Katrina thing when the guy blocked the punt
Really?
and stuff, and they were, oh, dude, you can't write that. You can't script that better.
Yeah,
Well,
so I mean, I'm with you on that,
us
bro.
finding out the NFL is not technically a sport, it's registered as entertainment. I am actually not surprised that happened because, hey, maybe they wanted to script it like that.
Well, it's the easiest sports to, call flags
Which kind of
on,
explains
and
the whole Raiders conspiracy I've been throwing out there for the last 20 years.
there it is. Come on, Mike, give us your spiel.
Well, I will say that the Raiders losing like 4 in a row to end the season improved their draft position by like 6 to 8 spots. They were like in the not teens, but like maybe 10, 11, 12, and now they're picking 7th. So, I mean,
Top 10
what they
pick.
do with that pick, I don't know. It's probably, I don't know. Will that guy, I want odds on yes or no, will that guy survive his rookie contract as a Las Vegas Raider? Yes or no? I'd put my money on no. Not Mattress Mac money.
Unfortunately,
but
man.
put money on that.
Oh, Mattress and Mac.
Oh, man.
We'll talk about Mattress and Mac
miserable.
shortly. I will say the game that I am looking forward to, because I know last week you actually kind of said what you said about it. If they played like last week, they're going to get their ass whooped. But they're one of those teams that when they're vibing, it's like, damn, they're young. 2 first-round picks, 2 number 1 overall picks in back-to-back seasons.
Right.
Like, dude, if Jacksonville goes and just plays Jacksonville football, I'm actually not going to be surprised if they beat the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, and the Chargers are lucky that it's a night game too, because if it's during the day, if there's any kind of sunshine or whatever, it's like muggy and stuff. So they're lucky that they're getting what looks like 8:15 local time. So it looks like it's about 56 degrees and clear. So maybe some mugginess, but once the sun goes down, it'll be a lot easier to play out there. That'll be a good game to watch. Yeah, and then 2 division games. I mean, even though it's a division game, did you see Pete Carroll's press conference today? He's like,
Pete Carroll's just
he's like,
trying
well,
to
we got to play the
come on
Niners.
now. I think Pete Carroll, I mean, he does have that 99% of them that's like, God damn it, really? Just 10-0, bringing the third string quarterback, and they're still vibing. All players are back. We're actually having the most complete roster, like for us,
Right.
like non-injury wise, finally. But Pete Carroll also has that, like, let's try to maybe play some mind games. I mean, what do you have to lose in this game, bro? He had Geno Smith at quarterback this year. You're not supposed to be a playoff team. He goes and has a freaking career year, so it's house money for them.
Excuse me, franchise record holding for yards passing, Geno Smith.
God, because we totally seen that coming. We all seen that coming.
Dude.
That's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy because before the season, not one person is going to tell me Seattle was the team that was going to be freaking second in the division, making the wild card. But big props for Geno, man. He shut up the haters.
Yep, definitely. And now going to one game I wanted to highlight. It was the last game of the week of the regular season. The drama that ensued with Detroit and Green Bay. Right, just the coach saying, I want to eliminate him. They knew going into the game that with Seattle winning, it eliminated them, and it was just a win and get in for Green Bay. So Detroit, they didn't have to get off the bus. They didn't have to do anything, but they did, and they came out and they played pretty well. Jamal Williams, he breaks the franchise record for touchdowns in a season. Now, all these records that are going to be broken, all the old heads are going to say, "Oh, you have an extra game." It's still an amazing season, It's still an amazing season. So
with you on it, bro.
Right, exactly. But the whole thing that happened after the game, where I forgot who it was, he wanted Aaron Rodgers' jersey, like a jersey swap.
Jamison Williams, a rookie.
Right, and he was like, I think I'm gonna hold on to this one. What does that mean? Did he know cameras were there to kind of stir some shit up, or did he really mean like, I'm going to keep this one because it's probably going to be his last one as a Packer? I don't know. Let the conspiracy, stir.
every storyline from that game was awesome, man. Because it's true, Detroit had every reason to just like, let's just kind of mix in the packages, play whoever we want to play. But you cannot tip your cap enough to that Dan Campbell. All right, I can't make the playoffs. My next Super Bowl is I want to knock out the Packers. Do you know damn well they hate each other? And in Lambeau,
Right.
like they made Aaron Rodgers look terrible. If it wasn't for a couple pass interferences and flags, they would have had like 4 or 5 interceptions, I think it was. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that Aaron Rodgers saga is going to definitely begin. And who knows what's going to happen? I mean, does he have football left? Of course. But I think with him having that contract, they're going to have to find the right team that can pick up that money. I mean, Raiders, maybe. I can think of a handful of teams that can use a quarterback
Right.
for sure, but he's done in Green Bay. I mean, what's going to accomplish at this point? They got rid of Devontae. His best assets, what? Watkins, who's a rookie. I mean,
Right.
they're in rebuild mode, I think.
Yeah. So before I want to get into this team because they're a playoff team, and I'm interested on your take about this. But I want to segue into it by using the contest. Congratulations to our very own Mark for winning the contest, the free contest you picked.
Oh,
Like
did Mark
he
win?
won. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Freaking Mark won. I was just going to get into that and who won because I know him and my boy Tej, the Lurk boy, was
Yeah.
tied.
So they were tied. I think he had like a bunch of the early games, or they both did, and he went like 1-3 or 2-2, and then Mark with that late with that
man.
Cincinnati covered. So I think he won by like one win or two. And
Yeah.
then yourself took third place. So two-thirds of comic bookies went ahead and took 2 of the 3 top spots. But congratulations to TJ. You'll be getting $100 and some swag like a T-shirt and stuff. So we'll get that ordered for you. Just got to get your size. But congratulations. And then of course Sean and Mark. I mean, I don't know if Mark wants $200 from himself and a T-shirt from himself, but hey, we can get him a T-shirt ordered. But I wanted to, because I had my lock of the week in Washington. But I thought that they were going to play like just a close game and cover, not absolutely throttle Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Caleb is on the chat. Yo, what's up, Caleb? Thank you for checking in.
Caleb, what's
he
happening?
says Sam Howell is over the little over sign.
Bro,
Dak trash
Sam
caught.
Howell.
Dude,
Sam Howell, man.
yeah.
Whew.
I mean, that was one of my 4 picks was Washington, but I thought it was just because they were going to kind of, like I thought in my head I knew that Dallas was the last team to fight for that number 1 spot. Philly had to lose. San Francisco had to lose. Minnesota had to lose for Dallas to win that division and then get the number 1 overall seed. I thought they were just going to play good enough to win. They knew they weren't going to be. They were going to have to be that 4th spot because they were a wild card team, right? Or the 5th spot. But man, they got their ass kicked. So what do you think they're going to do in Tampa Bay against the greatest of all time, Tom Brady? Like, I think I'd take Tampa, especially if it's less than a field goal spread, or even if Tampa Bay's catching points. Like, what's the spread?
I do like Tampa.
Dallas
definitely
minus
do
2.5. Give me Tampa Bay and the points.
The only thing I guess my like 1% where as much as I hate Dallas, like that defense is that defense. I mean, Washington just sucker punched them, straight up sucker punched
Right.
them and just kept them down.
But it's Washington.
I mean, it's Washington, and I'm with you. I mean, you got to have that. It's still a division game. They played inspired football. It's at Washington.
Right.
But the kryptonite for Dallas is Dak. I actually think Dak's a good quarterback, but there's times where I think Dak starts getting in Dak's head, and he is. I forgot how many quarterbacks. I mean, he may be the first or maybe a handful. He led the league in interceptions, and he missed 5 games this season.
Mm-hmm.
That is a crazy stat when you really think about it. 5 games he didn't even play
Right.
in.
It was like,
And he
yeah.
led the freaking league in
It was
turnovers.
like 2 weeks ago where it said like both him and Carr had like 14 picks and Dak had missed 5 games.
It's crazy, bro.
Jesus,
So, and, in the playoffs, you can't be that Dak because there's times you see where him, CD, Pollard, even Zeke, like, okay, they're playing pretty damn good football, and that defense is going to show up game in and game out. But what you said, man, you're Monday night, you're in Tampa, and you're against, the GOAT. It might be good luck and sayonara, but we'll see, man. It will be closer than obviously what we've seen in Washington. Playoffs are a little bit different, but man, that was a bad way to end your season going into the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is too is that even with all those picks, Dallas comes into the playoffs ranked second in the league in turnover differential. They're at a +10, right under their San Francisco at a +13. Tampa Bay is down there at -2. So who knows?
Yeah, the defenses are playing they've been underachieving in Tampa. That's for damn sure. They got some good players, obviously. They got Winfield, they got Devin White, they got Levante David. They got some damn good players. But again, it's been a little bit of an underachievement. It's weird because I just seen a stat that Brady broke his own completion single season record this year that he had last year. But when you kind of look at it like, damn, that team was barely over 500 and they won the division. So I don't know.
A lot
man.
of games
Tampa's
having to
not
throw and come from behind. It's just probably a lot of close games to where
manipulation.
Whether they won or lost, it was towards the end of the game, and he's not just up 30, 40 points at the end of the game running the ball. He has to make plays with his arm. So, but yeah, coming into the playoffs too, this is a weird stat. The New York Giants at a +3 point turnover differential. They were last in the league with the Raiders with 6 picks. But they had 13 fumble recoveries. That's where they had their takeaways. 49ers, 20 interceptions, led the league with Pittsburgh with 20. And then the New England Patriots right behind them at 19 with Buffalo Bills, Packers, and Eagles at 17. So let's go ahead and give some picks. There's no contest, so we can go ahead and give out picks, our expert picks. I actually didn't get a chance to, but all 3 of us went 3-1. You and Mark had Mark had the same exact picks, which was so weird. It's like, did you guys freaking call
hilarious.
each other?
No, and Scout's honor, no call at all. And you said that, I'm like, no, there's no way we had the same picks. And yeah, sure enough, we did.
But it was funny too because you were only like 1 or 2 wins ahead of like a bunch of people. A guy from work, my mom, Joe Dub, like tons of people like could have snuck into that last spot, and you held on to that spot. And I think I ended up with like 30 wins. So I had a good second half of the season.
Respectable.
Right. I think I ended up like 5 wins behind you of third place to get, in the top 3. But, we'll probably do this again next year. And we'll see if I can actually start the year by not having I think I had like 0-4, 1-3, 1-3 to like start the year or something. So, yeah.
Well, we can make it fun too. I mean, a couple of people I talked to in the contest actually brought it up. I mean, this came out of the funds of the comic bookies. And even if we said, hey, $10 a person to start this competition, we had over 50 people. So, out of our pockets.
It was 56 people, and it only cost us $1 per person to run the contest. Yeah.
So in essence, if we said, hey guys, $10 for the whole season, we out of pocket will maybe do the same thing, $100 for each of us. That's about an $800 pot roughly. Mm-hmm. So you want to put some damn incentive into it. So hey, that's next season, but just hey, heads up, a little bit more incentive.
Right, because we wouldn't necessarily be taking in any money too, like any like revenue, because it's not cheap to get those T-shirts. Like, you want to go to those T-shirt freaking places in the mall, or like to some person on Etsy, bro, you're looking at like $25, $30, even $35 per freaking T-shirt. So when we charge people money and we're only giving out $200 and $100, don't worry, we're not pocketing the rest. It's a pretty penny to freaking buy those T-shirts. But yeah, that's a good idea for next year. So let's just go down the line. Niners -9.5. I mean,
exactly. Here we go already. You know what?
The Niners have been absolutely throttling teams.
Niners.
If you're gonna, oh man, what 9.5 point spread would you take the points more? Would you take Miami or Seattle? Which one would you be more inclined to take?
Oh man, in cold weather Buffalo with a non-Tua quarterback, there's no way I take Miami. They barely got by the freaking Jets at home.
Okay, so you'd be more inclined to take the Seahawks if you were taking points. Okay. No, I mean, yes. Oh, Seattle, 100%.
So
you would rather be thinking of taking Seattle as a dog. Okay.
Yes.
Man, just to go against the grain, I'll take Seattle. Just so we can have like a friendly competition. But
why not?
But I'm taking Buffalo.
You're a smart man. We both taking Buffalo. So I think the fun one here is Jacksonville Chargers. That's going to be fun, man. Let me see real quick. What's the spread on that game? Let me go to my scores.
Chargers right now on ESPN are a -1.
Oh, Lord.
Justin Herbert's first. Now, both of these quarterbacks' first ever playoff appearance.
What I'm scared of at the end of the day is Eckler running wild. He's playing damn good football. So you know what? I do got to go with the Chargers, actually.
I would agree.
Yeah, so we're good on.
I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be more prone to make the mistakes over Justin Herbert. So, okay, here, interesting games here. Minnesota at home against the Giants, -3.
Dude, I don't want to talk about the freaking Vikings. They burned me like 4 straight weeks because they had the most like appealing freaking like, dude, they have to win. Kirk Cousins don't do it to me, and he did it to me, and he's gonna probably do it to me again. I'm going Vikings.
I'm taking the Giants.
Smart man.
I love me some Giants. I love me some Giants. They were the second best. No, they're like the second best team against the spread this year. The New York Football Giants. First place.
Only had 3 points.
First place team this year at like 14-3 against the spread. The Cincinnati Bengals at home against division foe Baltimore Ravens. I know it's 7.5. That's a nasty half a point hook right there. You can get burned by just a touchdown win. But I don't care if it's going to be 41 degrees, a little cold. No, Smoking Joe.
Good for
Smoking
them.
Joe.
Dude, Smoking Joe might be the most likable quarterback. This fool just enjoys every win. I swear, I love Joe Burrow. Side note, I did lose a championship because of Joe Burrow. You son of a gun. I lost by 10 points. This jackass had 11 points. If you just did your season average of like 20, 22 points, I won the championship. But I knew this was going to happen.
Because Yahoo for me gave him a 0 and was like a bye week. They didn't even count the first points that he got in the game.
So what we did is we took the total of week 17 before the Buffalo Bengals game, and we kept that as a score. So TJ had like a 31.5-point lead. And then we did the scores that they got in week 18 because it's still actually.
Oh, okay.
If you go into the player stats, if you actually go into the player stats, you can see what they got. And Mixon had a good 17 bomb. Like, hell yeah, like that was good. Bass, the cure for Buffalo, gave TJ like 5 or 6. So I'm like, okay, not that bad. But what I was scared of the whole thing, I mean, I actually told TJ, which is true. Bengals playing the Ravens is a lot different than the Bengals facing the Bills. A division game versus a shootout.
Right.
Burrow in a shootout is going to be a shootout. Bengals, Ravens is always going to be just a nitty-gritty, grind your teeth.
He only has like one touchdown, 200-something yards.
And I accept it.
You're going to win the game on the ground. Hence, Mixon getting 17 points.
Yeah, so of course, unfortunately I did lose that. But I'm not going to go against my boy Joe Burrow in this game. I don't care if Lamar Jackson's playing. Lamar Jackson is the hook, making it at 7.5, but you haven't played in a handful of weeks, and I don't think you're worth the fat contract you're seeking. Let's go Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
All right, and finally, Monday, January 16th, Cowboys-Buccaneers. Dallas, on the road, -2.5.
Home dog Brady. Ooh, man, don't make that boy a home dog. Let's go Bucks.
Me too. I'm going Bucks. Just the Cowboy fans are just like, if there's Cowboys fans listening to this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can never go
no one's gonna believe you're something until it happens, right? It's gonna be a running thing. Like no one's going to.
Buccaneers, they finished under 500.
Under 500 and won the division.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there was like 3 weeks. There was like 3 weeks left in the season, and the team with the most wins had like 6 or 7 wins. We were like, dude, this.
I thought it was 9-8, 8-9. Oh, that's dog shit.
I mean, the Giants finished 9-7-1. Dolphins are 9-8. Jaguars won the division at 9-8. Seahawks made the playoffs at 9-8. Jesus Christ, Raiders, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
That just shows good competition, though. That is I purely, straight up agree. That's a just reflection. That's just good competition.
I mean, competition league wide.
Teams are getting better. I think teams are getting better. I mean, it could be a little bit of your team's downfall, but I do think that's. I mean, Carolina Buccaneers. That was the playoff game right there.
Right.
If Carolina wins, they're in the playoffs. So I mean. No one's seen that coming. Freaking Mayfield's our guy. We trade for him. That guy freaking shit the bed. They're bringing Darnold, who I think everyone knew, and they trade him like they tried to freaking lose this year. They trade him McCaffrey.
I know, right? And then I finally get the last 2 weeks of the playoffs. I get freaking like 20, 25 burgers from freaking DJ Moore. But then I lose. What's funny is that someone I saw on Instagram, someone simulated, watched computer versus computer a Bengals Bills game to do their fantasy football championship, and some guys go, I think it was Stephon Diggs caught a long 40-yard pass. Let's go!
Hilarious.
And he's watching Madden, it was hella funny. So, all right, well,
that's actually pretty fun. For our third and fourth place game, we had a Madden game. with the two people was Aaron, one of our listeners, and Uncle Art. They actually faced each other in Madden, so it was a fun way to determine third and
That's
fourth
hella
place.
funny. So good luck to your 49ers, Sean, as much as that pains me to say that. Lucky for me, we're actually going to talk about some news from the park later, but I will be, thank God, I'll be at Disneyland on Super Bowl Sunday, so just in case they make it, I won't even have to watch it.
As what you said earlier, you said we're not going to make it. You said we're going to win it.
Well, I said, I asked. I didn't say they were.
Oh, that was a question? Oh,
that was a question. I was like, they're going to win number 6, aren't they? I was like, huh? Like, question mark. I was like, oh, so, but yeah, but it's still a long road. But yeah, so let's go to, and the only way that the 49ers have a road game is if they have to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. That would be the NFC Championship game, I believe. So, all right, let's do it. College football, we don't have to spend much time on this one. I mean,
good Lord. I said it, bro, dude. This is where you start thinking, damn, we can't have these fools in the national championship. I hate to say it. Because every school deserves a chance. But this is what you get scared of. This is what hurts the national championship.
Right. And then everyone starts saying, like, oh, they should have had Alabama in there, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess, but they play. That's why you need to have at least 8 teams. You have another game, like you have that first round game of all the SEC, like all I'm saying, and then it's not just one game and you get in because anybody can beat anybody on any given day. But you got to win 2 games to get to a national championship. You have to have at least 8 teams in that playoff. No ifs, ands, or buts. It was just, and then I got kind of pissed off. I didn't get pissed off because they put in like freshman guys starting defense and they were still dominating. But like, bro, like every time I look up, they're freaking passing still. Like what?
Well, at the end of the day, bro, I think because they were slowly subbing people in and out, and they started with the position players. Bennett stayed in for most.
I know. But why are they still passing? They're up like 45-7. Why are they still passing?
You still got, you know what? It's the flip side, bro. You still got to stop it. Trust me. It's a thin line with me because I get it.
I don't know.
So what's more embarrassing then? I agree with that. So what are basketball players supposed to do if you're up by 100? Freaking run out the clock every time? Like I'm with you. I get it. But like it's hard because it's like it's almost not fair to your players. Sorry, receivers, you guys are blocking the rest of the game, but it's like. You still got to play the game.
I know, but that's less likely to get injuries too. If you're like running longer plays, the quarterback has to like get out of the pocket to avoid a sack. If you're just running up the gut, everyone knows the play. Everyone is going to one area to tackle a guy, and you're just trying to just run that clock out and win a national championship.
It got bad, bro. That was terrible.
The worst point differential in a national championship. I'm not sure if that's ever or like since a certain year. I forgot what it was. But yeah, not good. Is Georgia the next Alabama? Like, are we seeing the Alabama? Like, are they going to be preseason number 1? Are they going to just a revolving door of talent? Like, is this the start of everything?
Do they beat Ohio State?
What do you mean? Who beats?
Do you think if they face Ohio State, do you think Georgia beats Ohio State this year?
Well, that's
how I look at it. I was looking at. Okay, they beat Ohio State, but like I think like they beat them because of that freaking missed field goal. But it's one of those things where it's just like
how much better of a game would Ohio State end? Like I think Ohio State would have probably still beaten TCU, and then do you think Michigan would have put a better battle against Georgia or no?
I think Michigan got sucker punched by TCU. I actually, in a weird way, still like Michigan over TCU.
Right, yeah.
It was one of those games that TCU, and I don't know, hey, TCU some dogs. It wasn't like they caught Georgia on a bad day. No, they could face Georgia 10 times. They're going to lose versus Georgia 10 times. Yeah. Like, Georgia's just hella better. I don't know, man. It sucks, bro. I'm with you. You just need to make it an 18 playoff. And, even an 18 playoff, it's like, what are you going to have first round, hypothetically, Alabama versus TCU? Chances are I'm probably going to go with Alabama. And then it's going to end up being Alabama, Georgia, what everyone expected.
Right, yeah. I don't know. So, I mean,
it's
we'll
hard.
See. We have a whole big old offseason of the transfer portal and then spring games and summer workouts and all that shit, Bad news today, Lincoln Riley announced that USC is keeping their defensive coordinator, so that's diddly. That's great. I mean,
it's going to be a high-scoring offense this year.
And maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's just the talent pool that he was dealt with, or that he was dealt after Clay Helton and them left. Maybe it just wasn't that good. So hopefully they go in the transfer portal and they'll get some guys to come in and play some defense. And, when Caleb Williams is scoring 40, 45 points, they wouldn't have to worry about having to score, maybe they won't have to worry about having to score 40, 45 points because their defense is giving up 50, so so hopefully they get some guys in the transfer portal. So yeah, interesting. I'm sure we'll be filling everyone in on news as the offseason transpires. But yeah, so all right, Sean, here's some baseball what ifs. So I saw a couple videos of like what do you guys think of this, right? And so one of them is already being implemented into a league, right? It's like one of those independent leagues or, one of those minor league-esque teams, right? So they showed a player up at the plate and then him getting rung up, right? And he didn't agree with the call. So he looks back at the umpire and goes like this. And so they go to a review. That's their challenge. They're challenging a ball and a strike, and then immediately, this whole thing takes like 10 seconds. It goes up to the Jumbotron, and then it shows like what we see on TV: the ball coming in, the cubed, the square,
the digital one,
square, and it shows that it was low, ball 4, take your base, or whatever. What do you think about that? Sometimes I'm like, try something small like that, something new. Might get more fans.
How many of those do you get per game?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I would just keep it at 1. You just get 1 per game. I don't want to...
But what if you get it right? Do you get another one?
You just get 1 per game.
You can't just keep going all
game. Per game. Start out slow. Start out by introducing it maybe to the minor leagues and see how that, plays out. But, baseball's...
and the batter needs to call it too?
Right, yeah.
Or could it be like...
Or coach, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But in this instance, it was the batter. He turned around, he looked at the guy and went like this, and then they went, all right, timeout, go to the Jumbotron, and sure enough, all right, ball 4, take your base, and he drops the bat and takes his base. It was kind of weird, but it was like, I kind of like that because you do have some times where you're second and third, 2 outs, you're down by 1, you need a base hit, or you just need a base run or something. You need something. And then boom, you're just like, oh, well, what the hell? That wasn't a strike. You just took the bat out of my hands. Yeah, it's anything close with 2 strikes. You're supposed to, protect, supposed to foul it off or do whatever. But on the other hand, these guys have, such good eyes that, most of the time they know where it's going to be and they know where, if it's a ball or a strike. So, I'm not truly against it. I'm kind of 50-50 when it comes to these new things, like the pitch clock and everything. Like, speed up the game. I'm all for little things like that to try to get new viewers. But at the same time, I'm kind of like an old school guy. Like, no, just like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Don't watch it. I'm still going to watch baseball. So, I don't know.
I'm okay with human error. I'm never okay with doing this against me, but it's, you accept human error. It's a better way of putting it as an athlete, especially when you played sports. That kind of stuff, I'm okay with introducing because at the end of the day, it is kind of the trend in almost every sport, especially it's like basketball. You get 1, right or wrong, you get 1. And as like you said, bases loaded, chance to win or chance to tie the game. Umpire takes the bat out of your hands. That's kind of bullshit. The one thing I'm not okay with is where my old school comes in is actually what you said, the pitch clock. I actually hate that.
Right.
I hate that. I know. I don't like that kind of stuff, man. I'm not
the pitcher.
Cool with that.
The pitcher is the one controlling the game. We're not supposed to be. He's the one. He's got the rhythm, and most pitchers don't take that long. It was probably a handful of guys who just took too long. They take the Rosenbag, in their hands every other pitch, and I understand, but no, for the most part, no, they shouldn't have a pitch clock.
Yeah, so like those kind of things are the ones I'm totally against. But nah, a little tap of the head, like, hey, you know what? Might as well use it now.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that going to do but take 10, 15 seconds? I'm all for it.
Okay, Sean, so I'm with you. I'm not so into this one, but this is something that's like, holy crap. Like, what if they did this? Like, what if they did this, like maybe the World Baseball Classic? Like something that like doesn't, let's be honest, truly matter. Something that's an exhibition style tournament, whatever. So one guy was like, hear me out. It's like he started his TikTokers reel, like, hear me out. It's never going to happen, but it's something to think about. What if we got rid of the stagnant 9-man lineups? You have guys subbing in and out of hockey. You have guys subbing in and out of basketball, football. What if you got rid of the 9-man stagnant lineup where you have, especially, well, the NL has DH now, right?
NL does have DH.
Just years and years before that, you got bases loaded with one out. Pitcher comes up. Fuck, it's a third inning, and he's pitching a gem. I'm not going to take him out. Now you're bases loaded with 2 outs, and the whole situation in the game, you don't have to play in or whatever. You just got to play for an out, right? What if you had like this? And his example was Mike Trout. What if you said like, okay, Mike Trout comes up third, right? He comes up third. You got 2 on and nobody out, and Mike Trout comes up. He strikes out. What if you can just put him up to the plate again?
Don't like it.
He strikes out.
It's actually
put him back to
bad.
the plate again.
It's gonna be bad.
But as the game goes on, he doesn't bat at all. Everyone gets max 4 at bats. Like how or 3 at bats. So in certain situations, you put Mike Trout up to the plate. His first time he strikes out. You know what? Get it back up to into the batter's box. You're going to go again. If he strikes out again, then the whole situation changes and the strategy changes. So that way, between the first and the 9th inning, because what if you want to save Trout for the 9th inning, right? He doesn't bat the whole game, and then boom, you're down 1 with whatever. Then he comes up, and now you have Trout whenever you want in any situation in the 9th inning, and boom, he hits a game-winning home run. Like what the hell? So yeah, something.
That's some video game stuff right
so
there.
That was like, what do you think about that? Like that's like, who do you want to start the game? Like maybe you start with like a 9-person, because of course if you get the first 2 guys on, you're probably going to want to have the 3rd or 4th guy hitting in the lineup
anyways
in that spot too. Let's say the 2nd or 3rd inning, right? The 2nd or 3rd inning, you've already given up 3 runs and you got to get something back, right? The guy set the 7th and 8th place batter, they got a single and a double. You got 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. You know what? Screw it. Put my number 4 hitter instead of the number 9 hitter right now. So I'm using his 2nd of 4 at bats in this game right now.
That is a lot of logistics there, man. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's some video game stuff. I think that you test it in the video games before you even get to the freaking minor leagues, because that's going to be. But no, I think the concept's it's cool.
Right.
Do I think they'll ever make it like an MLB? I mean, no way in hell, obviously, but that would be interesting for sure.
That's like changing. It's a brand new sport, pretty much.
Just the idea of the game.
It's pretty much Oh my God, anybody 50 years or older, their heads would explode if you told them that they would.
What the hell is this?
What
shit?
the hell? You're telling me some guy can hit 3? What is this? A home run derby? What is this? A little leagues?
So Bonds would be walking just 3 times in a row. First 3 at bats, just walk his little ass, and
then his 4th at bat, you get to the plate, and what are you going to do? Walk him again? Probably. Oh, he would for sure break. He would every at bat, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know you're putting him in this situation with bases loaded, but sorry, you're going to get a base loaded walk."
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Mr. Lamar, Mr. Barry Lamar Bonds.
And that's the thing.
That's funny, though. That's pretty cool.
That there's a strategy and then there's an anti-strategy. So it's like, oh, cool, you just use 2 of your guys as at bats. All right, cool. I'm just going to intentionally walk you. Like you got 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Trout just strikes out. Trout, go ahead and get up there again. All right, cool. I'm just going to walk you now. Now you've used 2 out of your 4 at bats in the first inning, and you didn't do anything. You're just on base now.
You got 1 base runner out of it, no runs.
So
true.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I like it. That is fun. Yeah. It's cool. I mean, I'm sure for every sport, people are coming up with different concepts. I mean, I'm sure they're actually really trying to push for these changes. But no, that's pretty cool. I like that.
All right, man. So to round out the sports, let's do a little NHL check-in. I will say I haven't played in about a week or 2 the new NHL game, but I am doing pretty well with my created player. I always jump straight to that. As soon as these games had that where you can create a player and not just have to play with just the Kraken or just the Bruins or whatever, I've always kind of gone straight to the be a pro, because there's so many things you can do. You have interviews, you have conversations with your coach. Now with this whole social media thing, every maybe 5 games or so, you're answering a tweet. And you get to choose whether you're a superstar, kind of like an arrogant superstar, or whether you're more of a team player or neutral, right?
Oh, you pick your personality. Right. That's pretty cool.
And you get.
How's Mike Biella?
I would say he leans more towards a team player, but when I'm being interviewed, if the media member or my coach gives me a challenge, right? Get 2 points next game. Or help our team win this game. Or if I get in-game challenges and all of a sudden I get 1 shift in a period, I go off. I need
There
freaking
it is.
playing
Look at
time.
him. Look at
But
him.
what's cool is,
Look at him.
it's like they know too. It's like they know. There was one game where I got a penalty in the first period, and they gave me one shift in the second and one shift in the third, and we tied, and they didn't put me at all on the ice for the 5-minute overtime. And of course, I'm like lower on the totem pole, so I did not get one chance in the shootout either. And then the podcaster or the radio guy after the game, it sounds like you're listening to the radio or something, goes, well, yeah, so how the rookie do? He goes, well, I mean, it's kind of hard to judge how he did. He was barely on the ice, blah, blah, blah. So that they like take into account like your ice
Dang.
time or whatever. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. He goes, yeah, you
Nice.
took.
It's like
Hey,
Mike Biela's put on timeout. No
I know,
penalties,
right?
buddy.
So going down tonight's scores, the Sharks did go into Tempe. Yeah, Tempe now. Crazy. They're playing at Arizona
That is
State's
nuts.
arena until they get their own arena. Let's see. So Panthers actually go into Denver and take out the Avalanche.
Abs.
Not even in overtime. It was actually 5-4 in regulation. The Blues over the Flames 4-3. Stars over the Islanders 2-1. Lightning over the Blue Jackets 6-3. Penguins over the Canucks 5-4. Actually, everyone played tonight, seems like. Red Wings over the Jets 17. My Jets. That's what team I'm on. The Kraken over the Sabres 4-3. I was hoping I was going to get the Kraken.
Kraken.
You know, the new team, and then you also get to play the Sharks in their division.
course.
So, and then the Devils over the Hurricanes 5-3. So looking at the standings right now, I think this was the 42nd game for the Sharks, so technically this is the first game of the second half of the regular season for at least the San Jose Sharks. So we're looking here at, my God, we're 40 games into the year for the Boston Bruins, and they have 4 regulation losses. My Lord.
Yeah, they're pretty freaking good. I'm looking at that right now. They're really good. Obviously, a lot of these teams on top with 32 wins from Boston. Next closest team is Vegas. I mean, 27 wins, and you have a handful with the 25 and 26 wins. And then you got us with 13 measly ass wins. Good God, man. We are garbage.
We're not the worst team in the league by far. There's still plenty of teams. The Ducks are worse than us, the Blackhawks, those Coyotes, the Blue Jackets, Canadians? No, Canadians have one more point than us. So yeah, there's like 5 or 6 teams who are worse than us points wise. But yeah, it's just not a good era for the Sharks, you know. So
We still got, a couple of those good guys, but I mean,
and
like, Mike
and then where's
said,
Pavelski? Where's the old Sharks coach? Oh, they're just like the best team in the West, pretty much, with Vegas at 56 points. So
that's all. Just, doing their thing. But hey, you know what? We had enough years where we were spoiled in playoffs every year. You can still go to the freaking tank and you're still going to have a damn good time. But yeah, it's just one of those 5 to 6 years, maybe 7 years of just kind of rebuilding and hopefully get things going here in the next couple of years. I mean, people are like, oh, they're talking about years. Yeah, it's going to take years. It's going to take years.
Yeah, the defending Stanley Cup champion, actually, Colorado Avalanche, they're not doing too well themselves. If you look at the wild card standings, are they even in the playoffs right now? Let's see. In the West, right now, no, they're actually not even in the playoffs. If the season ended today, they'd finish 2 points behind Edmonton for a spot there in the playoffs. So yeah, they got some picking up to do. So Boston, of course, like we said, number 1. Oh, those Toronto Maple Leafs. 57 points, just giving their fans hope. Carolina Hurricanes at 57. And then
Lightning are up there,
and then pretty much the 2 best players of our era, 2 of them, Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby, still doing their thing for their team, and both of those teams hold the wild card spots in the East. Man, Ovechkin still scoring goals.
29 goals right now. Yeah, 29 goals, like top scorers, of course. That new generation, Connor McDavid with 34 goals, 77 points. And yeah, dude, Ovechkin still has 29 freaking goals. Yeah. Dude, I remember when freaking Crosby came in. He was like, 17, 18, or just some young freaking stud.
He's younger, he's younger than me. He's just like a month or 2 older than you. He's number 87. He's number 87 because he's August 7th of 87. That's his birthday. It's crazy.
Crazy, bro. It's nuts, bro. And it feels like he's been in the league forever. Speaking of old, bro, I just seen a fun little thing just the other day. I mean, it's awesome that we're doing hockey. Can I bring it up right now? Good old fan favorite, long-term legend of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Penguins, Jaromir Jagr signed with a professional team, I believe, in Russia, I want to say, at 50-something years old, I think. Dude, it's crazy.
My God. He's gonna die on the ice, and you know what? And he probably tells them, bury me in there, like bury me in the ice. Everyone can stare at my just cold dead body.
Right there in the ring, first layer of ice.
Ah, man. So, but yeah, we have plenty more hockey to get into, so we'll check in on the NHL probably the first or second week of next month in February. I think that's probably around the time that the All-Star break happens. I think the All-Star break happens in February. So there you have it, folks. There's the sports. Everyone enjoy, obviously, the wild card weekend, and that's pretty much all we have going on this weekend, if not for any EPL games or those cup games or whatever. So, yeah.
Another United win, by the way. Rashford, 7 goals in 6 games since return from the World Cup. Look at him. Look at him.
I'm not, I don't want to get into it because I think we just got into it last week. I didn't want to get into it, Sean.
Walking a little different right now. I like it. Listen, let's not talk about it too much this week. We'll wait till next week.
Right, exactly. Right. They are in third place, though. I'm just going to say that. They're in third place. Right. Okay, so let's get into the comic books. Before we do that, obviously, halfway through our show, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Go check Alex out. Go visit the shop every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Please check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Just search the Comic Bookies. And obviously, subscribe to this here YouTube channel. Search Comic Bookies as well. Email us, thecomicbookies@gmail.com. And yeah, thank you so much. Join the freaking giveaway. Got 10 books and 1 or 2 books of my own collection giving away in a couple weeks. Don't miss our big episode on the 30th of January with Mr. Jason Douglas is coming on. So a little sneak peek of that one. He has his book Parallel back in previews for a special edition. Go get your big old previews book. And he had a whirlwind, a crazy-ass 2022 year, not just books, but in just life in general. So he has plenty to get into and talk about when he comes on the show on the 30th, so stay tuned. All right, bro, comics, let's get into it. Let's just list all the books that are coming out this week. Tomorrow, 1/1/1. 2023. From DC comes Lazarus Planet Alpha #1, the long-awaited this big event. I'm gonna go to TI and ask Alex if this is worth getting because there's tons of like Lazarus Planet, Batman, Lazarus Planet, Teen Titans. It's like, is it really worth it? It's not like its own. I don't know. We'll see. Wonder Woman 795, Human Target 10, I Am Batman 17, and Batman Incorporated #4. And like I said earlier in the episode, if those books already came out and you have them in your hand already, I am so sorry. What? What are you showing me?
Deadly Duo.
Right. I mean, but that was already last week. It doesn't even come out.
Well, but it's funny. It's showing today. I know. That's when it's supposed to come out. I know that's what we're talking about. It's so crazy.
And that's why I didn't say The Flash 790 because I already had it. So, yeah.
Smart, man.
I don't know. So, Marvel gives us, well, I don't know. I don't know if this is for sure for Marvel, but yeah, let's go. Amazing Spider-Man 17, Daredevil #7, Moon Knight 19, X-Men 18, and Wolverine 29. Image gives us Gunslinger Spawn. I didn't write down the number, so sorry. Little Monsters.
Gunslinger Spawn is number, I have it right here, 16.
Thank you. Little Monsters #9, Bloodstained Teeth #3, and a new book, Black Cloak #1. Boom Studios, Something is Killing the Children 28, Grimm #7, and Sean, Know Your Station #2 comes out this week. Remember Know Your Station, the one with like the werewolf looking guys that like turn into werewolves? It was down at the terminal, the bus station, and there's some like secret society thing, and the girl or the guy or the girl gets saved from the secret agent guy, and then
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I do got that. I did get that, yes. I got #1.
Right, and they're being attacked by like the wolf-looking guys. That was months ago. So finally #2 comes out from Boom Studios. Like I previewed earlier, Mark Miller, Miller World, a new publication. So he has Nemesis Reloaded #1 coming out this week. And Vault Comics gives me, I believe, the 6th and final issue of Mindset. All right, Sean, so I got plenty of books. We got our huge box of I had 20 freaking comics from the last 2 weeks. So the majority, I believe, of them are from, and now granted, it was a lot of books because I was only supposed to get, 15, but I got 20 because DC front-loaded, or I should say backloaded 2022 and gave us a bunch of shit to read for 2020 into 2023. So, I mean, let's get into one book that we both read, and then we'll kind of get into stuff that we both or that we read separately, and then we'll come together for another couple books that we that we read together. So
of course, we can start with the book we do read together, but we'll bring up quickly, Daredevil #7. 100% looking forward to that.
Oh, right.
That's
Yes.
gonna be just freaking awesome. And I do also get the Captain America Symbol of Truth. I'm liking it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
definitely wanted to bring that up because I will probably be talking about it the next time around, getting our books on Wednesday. Yeah, it's a fun little story. I mean, it's one of my few
Nice.
Marvel books, so I do like that. But yes, books that we read together. You did mention you did not read Deadly Duo yet, right?
No, that'd be for next week.
Perfect. So yeah, I mean, I guess we either shoot for Detective or Batman, brother.
Batman, I didn't read either. That's for next week.
That's fine. Did you read
I
Detective?
did.
We can shoot on Detective. Detective was good.
Detective is really good, actually.
Yes.
It sometimes
This freaking
sometimes
what's this jackass's
sometimes
name?
these
This politician guy.
these Ram the Fifth or whatever books. Sometimes I don't know what to make of them, and then sometimes this one they're just building something up. They're building towards this huge thing, and obviously towards the end of the book where they all put their masks on and they just start to kind of they
Yes.
unfold their dastardly plan of taking over the city, of getting the property sold from from the
Wayne.
from the Wayne Foundation and everything.
That's the mom, right?
I think that's the mom. Yeah, that's
The politician's
yeah.
mom. Dude, she's freaking crazy,
I know.
bro. Yeah, you guys are gonna go freaking to a
to
vacation and
somewhere on the
freaking
island and kill yourself. Oh,
kill
cool.
yourself. Oh,
Nice.
Damn.
So yeah, we get classic Mr. Freeze, just kind of wants to be left alone. He's a villain, but like just don't F with me and I won't F with you. So I'll let you go. So
What's that stuff that he gives? That's I was gonna bring that up. 'Cause I'm actually on the page right here. He obviously throws something, kind of like use this to help. He throws it to Batman like a little freaking jar with something in it.
yeah, it didn't start with an A.
Yes, it starts with an A. Oh, an Asmer.
Right.
He called
right,
it.
Right.
Yeah. So I was curious into like what role that's gonna be because I didn't confuse me. I really wasn't really too damn sure what it was. But the politician, I know. I mean, he knows his mom's.
Yeah. It's funny because their last name is Orgum, and it's like it totally sounds like Arkham. Instead of Kham, it's Gham. So it's like, man, it's like so similar to Arkham. So I was thinking like a conspiracy theorist of like their name actually is Arkham, but they needed to change it for so people wouldn't know that they're actually Arkhams or something. Something like that. Mm-hmm. So
well, it's crazy all the freaking stuff that's happening in the background. I mean, you got freaking all these freaking bombs and freaking bloodshed happening. That's in the Narrows, right?
Yep, that's in the Narrows. Remember the Narrows from
the
Arrow?
Narrows. Is it in the Narrows, brother? And they're trying. Oh, and a side note: the character from Arrow, the main character, what was his name?
Stephen Amell.
He will be
in the Flash, and so will Kid Flash.
Had to bring that up to you, my man. So that's gonna be awesome. But yes, just quickly back to this. Yeah, it was good, like I said. And do you think that? Well, I mean, do you think it probably is a yes that the politician he knows what his mom is doing also? Because it's funny. I mean, you obviously Batman turns on the TV and sees all this crap going, and kind of like politicians with him. He's like, "Hey, I gotta go." I mean,
it almost seems like Asmer, whatever his name is. It almost seems like he knows Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he went over there just to make sure that Batman wasn't there to at least get ahead of their plan of blowing up those bombs. What's his name? Gale, the guy who turns into the wolf, like Gale, and I forgot what the other guy's name was, but yeah. And then it's so weird because then in the middle of this you see Two-Face kind of in his car, like he's getting pissed off. I bet you some of these other Batman villains are going to be pissed that this is happening, and they're like, oh hell no, you're taking over my town, dude. It's something. The shit's going down. It's crazy.
It is, because I mean, pretty much the end of the story pretty much ends on just primarily every page being with Two-Face, and he's doing, of course, that split, talking to his freaking Harvey Dent and talking to his Two-Face. So no, I think next issues where it's going to be good. Even like the one on the last page where he's holding one of the masks,
right?
And he throws it in the trash.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. But this book has been getting better and better since I've been reading it, like this story, because I wasn't really. I was confused on what to think about it, right? And then we get the 2022 annual, that gave us a little bit more background into what was going to happen with this, right? So, I mean, we'll see.
Definitely like it. Book I was going to actually bring up, unless you wanted to go first.
Go ahead, man.
From Boom Studio, it was Mr. Mosley. I mean, this whole freaking.
You know what? I did see that last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it caught my eye. I got it last week, and it was good. It had a little bit of like a little sci-fi-ish type vibe. It begins with pretty much this guy Mosley. He like leaves his family to almost go do like an experiment with like robots, pretty much trying to like the whole concept. I think is like they're trying to like enhance the human race, like try to quote unquote better things. So he basically goes and lives in like this freaking random like abandoned town with the robot. So like from as simple as like how humans communicate, everything about humans.
Mm-hmm.
He freaking is living with just a robot. Just imagine, it ain't you, Danielle, Cam, and freaking Maddie. It's you and a damn robot in the house, and the robot's talking human, but you kind of have full control of the robot. And then kind of fast forward, and all he has is his daughter. Doesn't have his wife, and he starts blaming like the whole concept of enhancing human like life to a degree
Right.
for him losing his life, like losing everything. Like him and his wife, obviously his wife's probably dead.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't seen her since. His daughter doesn't really have a good relationship with her. Like she's fully into all these human experiments, how humans react to things, interact with things, and him and his daughter are always bumping heads. And at the end of the story, there's like this dude, I swear it's like some freaking robotic little like 1-year-old or 2-year-old who says, "Give me that, give me that." And he starts basically beating the shit out of Mosley.
Oh shit! What
And
the hell?
then just weird. He's in like some little like robotic like body type thing. And again, it's really sci-fi-ish to a degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mosley ends up getting some powers, like almost like a little spirit type thing gets in him, gives him a whole bunch of powers, and he pretty much just kind of wants to rebel.
Right.
Kind of like all this experiment. Let's just keep it human. Let's not turn everything robotic and more complicated than what it has to be. So it was a cool number one. Definitely worth getting a number two on for
Very
sure.
cool. I did end a couple stories from Oni Press. Blink. I read what was that, number 5 or 6? That was number 5. Number 5 of 5. It was a pretty cool story. It was kind of weird, From AWA, number 5 of 5. Also, Sacrament. That one was crazy. It was like set in the year 2999, and there's still like possessions and stuff, like people being possessed by the devil and everything, and there's still like religion is like not happening. Like there's no religion anymore in 2999, but there's still like some old school like priests and stuff going around to different planets and trying to spread the gospel, spread the good word of Jesus Christ. And one of this guy who he pretty much helps save the day with this other gal, pretty much exorcises this demon, this devil from this guy on this planet, and but along the way he runs into his his thoughts, right? He always has, like you always see the troubled priests in some of these movies and TV shows, like having lustful thoughts for women and other things like that. And it was kind of trippy because the devil knows what kind of thoughts that he has, so kind of play effed around with him like that. So it was pretty good. This quick stops from Kevin Smith. I read number 3. It's just silly. It's like something that Kevin Smith would do, some freaking, Clerks or whatever. It's some silly shit. Did you read Damn Them All, number 3?
I actually did read number 2.
Okay.
But number 3, I got it. So we can talk about that next week.
Okay.
I picked it up this past week, actually.
Okay, no problem
so
whatsoever.
Damn Them All will be good. Strange Academy will be good for next week. And I know you'll be reading Batman, which I've already read. So, no, we'll definitely have a handful of books together.
What, that one, 0075?
007, I don't even get.
Okay.
I know.
No problem.
Feel free to talk. Oh, no.
So 007 number 5, you know what? I was kind of thrown off because 007, like the James Bond ones, we usually just got 5 issues. But this one is actually a 6 issue. So
And is it good so far?
it's fine. The first 4 issues were like, whatever. But when like a plan comes together, like this was the Ocean's 11, like how everything came together, and like how he kind of double crossed the villain and everything, and how it's all going to blow up in issue 6. This was the best issue of the series so far, in issue number 5.
Nice.
And it's Philip Kennedy Johnson, writer of Action and writer of Alien. So got
You love
a
that,
good
for
writer.
Sure.
Punchline, the Gotham game, it's Punchline. It's just kind of furthering her story, getting to know her character more. Obviously, it's kind of her against, Catwoman, but at the same time, it's kind of, everyone's kind of questioning her, like, about like Joker and everything. Like, oh, you're just like trying to like get a Joker and everything. So, pretty cool. So, Strange Academy 3, that's going to be for you next week. I will say that the Riddler, Year 1, number 2, It felt like we had to wait a long time for it, but it was a good book. Definitely a good book. It's like within the universe, like it feels like we're watching the movie a little bit. Like there's some tweaks to the story, but just like the origin story and how the Riddler becomes the Riddler, and it's some messed up things. But he's hella smart. He's just trying to do the right thing, and it's a good book. And he is going to be witnessing probably a murder because somebody messed up. Somebody stole some money from Falcone, and they're not going to live too much longer. So, no, what I was saying was,
My man.
oh, it's okay. I was talking about the Riddler year one.
Riddler Year One, dude. I that's the one book. I actually brought that up to Alex. I actually had some number twos, and I mean,
Okay.
I didn't even get number one, so I knew I messed up not getting
Yeah.
that. How and that I want you to hear
It's-
about because I know the first thing you
yeah.
mentioned, pretty much it was kind of him turning into the Riddler and why he is how he is.
Right,
and-
like everyone kind of like just doubting him and like saying stuff like, oh, or like going over his head. He's like easily dismissed, right? It's like, oh, thanks for doing all the work, and now this other guy that's kind of like his rival at work, now he gets the promotion, because he's the one who submitted the project or whatever. So like no one believes him. He's saying that the counts are off in certain accounts, and he pretty much finds out for his boss that someone has been stealing money from him, which in fact stealing money for Falcone. So he feels bad that he's pretty much, and then he kind of taps into a bunch of these cameras and stuff to kind of, he needs to investigate like what's going on, and in effect he kind of is going to get someone killed because this guy is doing work for Edward Nygma's boss, who works for who also works for Falcone, right? And what he's doing is he it's funny because he did not steal the money. He's saying, oh no, I do my work, I do my job, but somebody is stealing money, and it ended up being one of the guys who worked for the boss. Like it was an inside job, but he got that guy killed, and now that guy who said, oh no, I took some off top, I took some. He's going to his daughter, and I think they're going to kidnap her. So it's like, oh, dude. So like Edward Nygma's trying to do a good deed, but he gets some guy killed for no reason.
the wrong guy killed.
The wrong guy killed, and he's going to get his daughter kidnapped. So, I'm pretty positive that now he's going to start to turn and do things that he does in the Batman, but not necessarily become the Riddler just yet. But he's going to do some stuff to kind of screw over his current boss at work, right? But who, on the down low, works for Falcone.
It's funny because when you guys were talking about Mr. Enigma, Riddler, the previous time you guys read this book number one, it just made me think about Gotham and the character in that. Like that was a true like character development, obviously, because I mean Batman wasn't even Batman yet.
Yeah,
so
no.
all these books were almost getting like introduced into who they are and stuff. It was just Gotham is actually a perfect show for that.
Right.
That was for damn sure. And you talking about this is actually making me think of a new book that's coming out, and it hasn't came out yet, but I know it is a January book, and it's going back to those One Bad Day DC books. It's the Bane number one.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I do look forward to that.
Right, and we get Bane this month, and I think previews just had Clayface.
Yes, I did see the previews.
No.
I don't think he had a Marvel.
No, Clayface.
But he had...
Right, he didn't have a Marvel yet. No, this month was Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, that one's me for damn sure.
Yeah,
good.
Ra's al Ghul. Maybe last month's was Clayface. We're getting like all of them. I thought we were just gonna get
those are really.
I thought we
good.
were just gonna get Catwoman, Riddler, Two-Face, Penguin, like Mr. Freeze. That's it. But we're getting Bane. We're hopefully we get like Killer Croc. We're getting Clayface. We're getting freaking Ra's al Ghul. We're gonna get.
We should get Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, that'd be a good character to get. Yeah, there's some damn good ones, bro, for sure.
Of course, Joker. Like we not get Joker?
Oh, no.
So
Heard he's pretty good.
I swear, I need someone to validate me, but this whole White Knight, this whole universe that's been going on for years, Sean Murphy, this is, I believe, the third or fourth story now within this universe. It's just great because it's like, just throw everything you know out about Gotham, right? Like, everyone knows that Bruce Wayne's Batman in this now. He's kind of like a villain, not a villain, but like a wanted man, kind of, right? And now this one has Batman Beyond in it, It's just a great story. I think this is, yes, book 7 of 8. So final issue of this story, number 8, coming out next month. Action Comics.
Who's the villain in that? Who's the actual villain?
Actually, the last name of the villain in this movie, or this book, is Powers. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. See him right here?
Oh, that killed me, bro. Oh, man. That's wild.
That's a good one. Nice House on the Lake, number 12.
Man,
House
this is
on
some
the
books
Lake.
I'm missing out big time. Shit,
Yeah.
what the hell was I thinking?
So issue 12 was supposed to be the finale, but the end of the book said like end of cycle 1. So maybe something more from James Tynion on this Nice House on the Lake, but I swear the first half of the book was like, what the hell's going on? And then the issues 7 through 12 kind of painted the picture more, and it got more easy to read, and they explained a lot more. And finally, they all agree. So Walter is one of a bunch of these aliens, right? And they came to Earth, or they went to other, I think, or was it just Earth or other places and other planets? I think it might have been just Earth. They get their own little like pocket, right? And so they're supposed to save like 12 people in the world, like a scientist, a doctor, an artist, something like they have to have something of each, right? And so we've come to find out that Walter did not save who he was supposed to save. He saved all of his friends, his 12 friends that he had been, like he's always been an alien, right? But like who he kind of grew up hanging out with, going to the bars and stuff, building relationships with. But it just so happens that one of them was a lawyer, one of them was an artist, one of them was a doctor, one of them was and so he's explaining this to one of the gals towards the end of the book, and it's like, once like my bosses, like the other aliens, find out about that I didn't save, like they're gonna kill me and they're gonna kill you. So what he proposed was like 3 options, and the options that they took was you have to take over this place. You have to take controls of this place and make this ecosystem seem like it's going on and I'm here. Because once something goes wrong and once something is off and and they think that I'm no longer alive, then they're going to come and they're going to kill you all anyways. Mm-hmm. So I'm so sorry that I put you into this situation. I'm so sorry that, I took you away from your families who are now all dead because the world's like up in flames and like over. And so they decided to kill him. So they shot him, right? But what they didn't know is that right before they shot him, that he like disintegrated into his, like if you've read the book, like he kind of like molds into like, it kind of looks like Terminator 2, the T-1000 Terminator 2, where he's like kind of like molds in different shapes and whatever.
Yeah.
And so the last page is him overlooking the house on the lake from like a, way back, across the lake and like up on a hill somewhere. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll see if they continue the story and if they continue with these people. It's pretty crazy, but it's cool.
So you brought up like cycle 1. So for books like that, they have like a cycle 2, and say like it's just like a completely different concept, maybe the same character, but almost like just a different plot, different everything. Right. Do you think it's okay for someone to jump on it, or do you almost feel like you need to read the first cycle?
I hope that the beginning of cycle 2 would kind of give you a backstory of what happened in cycle 1. If it just goes right into the story, I think it would you kind of get lost, Of course. I think you'd have to read, and and this one's easy. Like if you start at cycle 2, right? All you would have to do is just pick up the trade paperback of this.
Trade paperback.
You wouldn't have to track down 12 specific issues.
Yep. Nice.
Did you read Amazing Spider-Man?
I stopped getting that too.
Oh, you stopped, dude.
Yeah, because I know you've been freaking black and white on that.
No.
Yay, nay, nay.
No, definitely not. It's getting to the point where the story is like whatever, and it took me 4 minutes to read.
Oh,
no way. Like when you're charging me, like when you're starting to charge me $3.99 for something, and I'm also it's taking me less time than what I paid for minutes wise. I'm going to start to really doubt it. So 16 issues. It took us a long, long time to figure out and for them to explain to us what Peter really did to this guy, Chasm or however you pronounce his name, and the story.
What did they end up doing to this guy? Because it's funny because this was
erasing his memories and just like kind of taking.
Okay.
I don't know. It's dumb.
Stupid concept.
And then finally the last one I'm shouting out tonight is Action Comics.
Big Action.
1050. It was written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, but Tom Taylor and Josh Williamson all wrote 3 separate chunks of this one. And pretty much what we all thought when Clark Kent told the world that he was Superman is now no more. Pretty much he took...
So who deleted everyone's memories?
Lex Luthor.
Oh, what are the odds
He
of
used
that?
Manchester Black's... he hooked him up to a machine because he has like telepathic powers or whatever, kind of put thoughts in someone else's head. He used a machine to like broadcast it out there and kind of put the thought in people's heads that now you don't know who Superman is, and if you have a feeling that Clark Kent is Superman, then it will kill you.
So a lot of people died already.
No, Perry White, the old, the editor of the Daily Planet, he comes over for dinner. With this have already happened, and of course Lex Luthor didn't do this to Jonathan, to the mom and the dad, to Lois Lane. So everyone thinks that Perry still knows that Superman's Clark. So hey, what's going on? Superman, what are you doing here? It's me, Clark. He's like, Clark, and he has like a freaking a stroke. Like a mini stroke, like it almost killed him. So he finally learns that, and then, so they have a big fight. Him and Lex, like Lex is in his purple and green, his big suit.
I was gonna bring that up. He's in a big old suit.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So let me show you.
Yeah, that's typical Lex.
That's the Lex Luthor we know. and then it's cool because like at the end of each story, it's like it's a different part of the story, right? So it's like. This is to be continued in Superman #1 with the new Superman book coming out. This one is there's another story where what was it? Crap! It was the end of this kind of part of the story was like, we need John Kent. So to be continued in Adventures of Superman John Kent. I'm not getting that one. And then finally, we've been kind of seeing a side story with Metallo. So Lex Luthor pretty much gave him some skin. He's no longer like the skeleton.
Oh, okay.
And that one, and this one's going to be continued in Dawn of DC Begins. Yep. So it continued in Action Comics 1051. So
you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that new Superman #1.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm always going to get 4 books, no matter what. Batman, Detective, Superman, Action, no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
I like it.
Yeah. So I mean, dude. Yeah.
I'm gonna get that Superman #1 too. Actually, show.
Yeah.
It actually goes. They'll definitely be good. Cause I know we have some books this week. I already get. So I'll have Symbol of Truth. I'll have Daredevil. You'll have Batman from this week, last week, and then Damn Them All. So that would be good for next week for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have a handful together.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's get into some news. Let's end the podcast, dude. We got 17 minutes until 11 o'clock. We're about to finish this shit, so let's go. Sean, there's plenty to get into with just kind of mini, kind of news stories. The first one I guess I'll say is Angela Bassett.
Ooh, man, good for her.
Black Panther's mother in this.
Good for her.
Black Panther and now Wakanda Forever. She's the first actor from any Marvel movie to win a Golden Globe. So that's pretty cool. That's.
Here we go. Trivia. Can you name the last time she won it? 'Cause she is a 2-time winner. And can you name the movie? I can't even name the movie. I heard the movie, but I forgot. Do you know what year it was?
Oh, the last time she won a Golden Globe?
Yeah. And you're going to be like, damn.
I don't know. She's not old, but she's not young. So let's say 1993.
Damn, you're a year off, 94.
Nice.
Good guess, my man. Yeah, it was funny. That's actually when we turned to it. She won the first award, so that was pretty awesome.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so congratulations to Angela Bassett. I mean, I'm sure, haven't seen the movie yet. Probably going to wait until I think it's like February 1st or whatever it is when it comes out in Disney Plus, but I'm sure she gave a great performance in the movie.
Oh, we can roll with these, man. Freaking Golden Globes. It was funny, man. Golden Globes on a Tuesday. You watching the replay, like, no, it's live right now. It's like, okay, might as well get some of the results in. And I know, guess, piggybacking off of what you said, Best Actor was none other than Mr. Kevin Costner from Yellowstone. I know you and Danielle just jumped on that show, and you can probably immediately see how good he is in that damn show and how all the characters have that chemistry. So, no, that was, I think, a well-deserved freaking awesome award win for him.
I think the Golden Globes are one of those ones where it's like kind of like a preview of the Oscars and the Emmys, to where it's like a lot of these people who are winning these awards may win the bigger ones, right? So we'll see how that plays out. Sean, classic from our childhood, Stephanie McMahon resigns as co-CEO of WWE.
She does.
I don't think I was watching wrestling when she became CEO. I think I was like, kind of in in high school, or like, post 21, whatever. But yeah, pretty crazy. But it comes off the heels of Vince returning, like unretiring. So it'd be kind of crazy how
they're in the middle of a sale. That's what
Right.
I'm seeing right now. And I think a little bit of what Mark said, he pretty much owns, majority of like probably like the stocks or something like that, all the whole logistics aspect of it. I mean, I see like the whole little statement, oh, I'm happy to be back to have this opportunity. I'm like, what's really behind all of this? I mean,
Right.
and I think it's a sale that's going on with the whole freaking WWE. I mean, that thing is, when I thought that Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock era freaking just blew up wrestling in the right way, I thought nothing would be able to match it. But you seen that thing that Mark sent us, like it just keeps getting more and more televised, more and more ratings. So, I mean, it's a well-oiled machine, bro. It's perfect entertainment for people, and they love it, dude.
Yep. I mean, and I don't want to say that it's just as good, because it probably isn't.
And
It probably isn't, because they probably can do less, with just how probably censored, how they're more censored nowadays. But for the generation that's watching now, they're going to be like us in 15, 20 years. Remember when this and this and this happened? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like they're watching like the end of Edge. We saw the beginning and middle of Edge, and he was in the bordello, blood
with Gangrel, and Christian,
Yeah, and then he was like just Edge, like with Edge and Christian with all the TLC matches and stuff, and now he's one of the old guys.
You want to feel old, bro? Rey Mysterio's son is like one of like the main wrestlers now, dude.
Yeah, he just got engaged or something. I just saw he got married.
Yeah,
or whatever I saw.
this guy's a freaking wrestler. I mean, it comes full circle, bro. Like you make us feel a little bit old, but yeah, some of like sometimes you go on the Instagram, you see some of like these characters now, and it's like John Cena's like in and out of matches every blue moon. I know The Rock had his few one wrestling matches like every few years, but nothing will compare to the Attitude Era for sure.
Yep, absolutely not. Let's see. We have a new trailer out today, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I didn't watch it because I didn't see it until like maybe dinner time, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. Did you see it, the trailer?
I didn't watch it, but the only thing I seen was a handful of people who just said, yeah, freaking Ant-Man ain't got no chance against Kang the Conqueror.
Oh, no.
That's the only thing I kept seeing. Like people saying, oh, Ant-Man's about to get his ass whooped. So, I mean, who knows? I'm going to definitely obviously take the time when I get a chance to watch the trailer. I always like to watch those little trailers, but that's funny.
That's funny. The Last of Us premieres Sunday. I'm very excited. I never played the game, but I know that it was a hit. I think there's 2 games, so I'm really excited. Love, god damn, what's his name?
The guy from freaking
Pascal.
God,
Yeah,
Beast.
yeah, Pedro Pascal from Mandalorian, and then you know who the little girl is, right? I know you've seen trailer. Do you recognize the little girl?
Let me go real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Just pull up the picture. Yeah, I'm sure you can see a picture of her. Do you recognize where she's from?
It's coming up right now.
If you don't get it, you're gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, that's right.
Make me say, damn, that's right.
Did you see her? Are you seeing her face?
I'm seeing her right here, and I've seen that.
She
before.
is from Game of Thrones. She's the little girl with, like, when her dad or whatever dies, she's one of the other kingdoms. Remember when they come and it's like, oh, the king of the north, and she's from like another village or a kingdom that because there's no one else to run her people, she has to step in and become queen. And at the time, she's like 10. So like.
It is.
So towards the end of the show, the last couple of seasons, when they're all together with like Sansa and Jon and all them, and they have the other lords and kings of other places that are supposedly.
He might not be my king, but he's a king of the north. I know exactly. She has long hair in the Game of Thrones. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep, and that is her. I'm seeing a perfect picture of it. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then
the funny thing is about The Last of Us too. Not to cut you off. Apologies, brother. I know we're not really into the whole Rotten Tomatoes, but I almost have to bring it up because The Last of Us got a perfect freaking score.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Crazy.
Yep, very, very excited about that. And then to round out what I have of news, I have some Disneyland, some Disney World news.
Let them know, bro. I know.
So Tron Light Cycle Run is opening, has an opening date at Walt Disney World at Magic Kingdom of April 4th, 2023. So it's pretty cool. I've been seeing numerous videos of people on rides at Walt Disney World saying, "Oh, there's Tron. Oh, they're making their, they're making progress. They're making progress." And finally, I'm seeing, some test rides and stuff on some of these videos that I've been watching. So it's going to be amazing. About a month or two ago, I was watching a bunch of these videos on the Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the new ride over there at Epcot. I was watching all the ones of them, the point of view videos of them on the ride. So can't wait for that to be a thing for the Tron. And then also, my wife Danielle sent me an article about they announced all these news stories from Disneyland also. So as of a week before we go to Disneyland, Sean, we can now park hop to the other lands at 11 a.m. instead of 1 p.m. Now, we saved $120. We're just getting one park per day. But if we wanted to...
You're going 2 days?
2 days.
That's fine.
So we could do everything we want in Disneyland and then everything we want in California Adventure. And it was like that 120 can go towards a couple things for the kids. Some, if we get to Oga's Cantina, because we're going straight there.
Smart, when we get into, do it, Mike.
Right.
Yes.
When we go to Disneyland, I don't care if I have to get a mimosa at 8 a.m. Going to Oga's, and then once we walk inside of California Adventure, we're going to try to get reservations at Carthay Cafe or whatever. The one with the lighthouse. Shit.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Just go to those places where we can eat where we want to and not have to rush because the kids are, I'm saying. And even if it's rainy and cold, I'll put a poncho on and I'll still enjoy myself because it's going to be a way different trip, right? Also, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Disneyland is going to give everyone complimentary digital copies of their photos on certain rides. So the rides you get,
awesome.
So when they take a picture of you at the Incredicoaster, you get that for free on your app connected to your ticket.
So you don't need to buy the Genie Plus to get those free tickets or free pictures? I don't
think so. It says complimentary.
That's awesome. I think Genie Plus also, were just for the pictures that the staff, across the park were taking for you, and they would do some sort of scan on your phone. But that's pretty cool for the actual rides. I know, Space Mountain, all those. Let me see my face after.
Because how we do it now is we go up there and then we take a picture with our phone, hella scab, so we don't have, of course it says the word proof, across the thing, so it doesn't really count, but yeah, so it's pretty cool. So now we get a free little complimentary thing because it's the 100th year anniversary. So it's going to be, hopefully we get more news. The one news it did get kind of crappy was the delay from January to March for Toontown and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Yep.
So I will not be going there, but yeah. So, and then, probably going to be tons of videos this upcoming week with, people who are vloggers and bloggers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Because next week, I believe the 17th, Super Nintendo World opens up at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Brother.
So I'm sure we'll be able to watch a few videos before episode 174 and kind of preview that. So can't wait for that.
It's going to be fun, bro. A lot of good stuff. And you get to go on your Disneyland trip. I was there, a month and change ago. So, and you get to enjoy, again, that 100th anniversary. You don't get Toontown, but, the complimentary pictures. And just, hey, you and the wife, bro, you guys freaking enjoy it. 10 years together? Me and Marissa, 10 years together. So, hey, bro, it's that, milestone of just, meeting our significant others and treating yourself, bro. People think it's let's go to Hawaii, let's go to the Maldives, all these, hey, let's go to Disneyland. Let's freaking be a kid again and enjoy ourselves.
The Maldives sounds very, very nice.
Of course. A couple quick things I seen, of course. The Bad Batch, that series on Star Wars.
Right. It just premiered.
It did premiere, so definitely want to check that out. I've always loved those, animated shows that Star Wars has. The one with Count Dooku was freaking awesome, most recent one they had. So I look forward to watching that. Hopefully get some time here, in the next, couple of days or something like that. Also, I did see that they will start filming, I think, Spider-Man this year. So I think they're shooting for next year. I think that's the latest update. I follow some new little MCU thing, Twitter handle. Okay. And it's pretty much Twitter updates. on MCU stuff. So no, I seen that, and I mean, freaking Spider-Man. They got the characters back, including that was it, Zendaya, Sister Zendaya,
Mm-hmm.
Oakland's finest. So she'll be back, of course. I know. I think she actually had like a pause in if she wanted to come back or not. So she is. So that's pretty cool. And then I do believe that Avatar did hit the $2 billion as expected. I mean, it only took them like less than a month. So, God.
Damn.
But yes, they're definitely profiting and doing more than fine. Yeah, bro, they're gonna be. It's good. It's good. Long, but definitely good. And it's another week closer to Black Panther being on Disney Plus. I know we bring this up, but I just had to bring it up because again, it's what Mike brought up in the beginning of news with Miss Bassett winning the Golden Globe. It's made me think of Black Panther 2, and hopefully you guys had a chance to watch it. And if you haven't, like Mike did bring up a couple episodes ago, it's going to be, I think, February 1st or
Yeah.
something like that on Disney. It's
Yeah.
one of the
Something like
early
that.
days in February. So, yeah, just a reminder to everybody because I look forward to watching that. I need a good movie to
Yes,
watch.
sir. All right, man. I think that's it. That's sports. That's comics. That's entertainment. That's everything involved in wrapped up and nice and tight into a 90-minute episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. Take us away, Mr. Sean Powers, for episode 173.
Episode 173 is fun. It's, never the same without Mark. Most importantly, get your health right, bro. Get better, a little under the weather. You know, Generally speaking, we're all under the weather right now with this rain and stuff. So we should all just be safe. Make sure you guys are driving safe, staying out of those freaking rain. Make sure you guys are taking care of your kids, keeping them nice and warm, keeping, your vibes up, your vitamins up and stuff. And comic book related, what Mike mentioned earlier, follow the Comic Bookies podcast. Make sure you support your small businesses, specifically comic book shops, Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Alex, you are the man. Definitely support our guy. He's awesome. And of course, our giveaway, 10 free out for your liking. Of course, the shorts that Mike provides, and just generally interacting with us. We had Caleb on earlier listening. Appreciate you, brother. Throughout the week, I know people take time to listen to us on YouTube and wherever you do get your content. And again, we do appreciate every bit of it. And yeah, hopefully that Belgium listener did listen to last week's and this week's, and we do find out who you are so we can get your ass on this show. You
That's
deserve
right.
it, bro. If you listen to it every day, you deserve our time. So
That's
again,
right.
we appreciate all the time you guys give us. And thanks, guys. We love you guys.
Nice, nice. And just to shout out it's the normal listeners over here on the Comic Bookies podcast, as far as the United States is concerned, up here in the Bay Area and out in the Valley and down in LA, all the way across the United States to New York and Washington, D.C., back over here up to Oregon, from coast to coast. Thank you so much for supporting this podcast year in and year out. We're damn near 4 years into this thing, almost 175, almost 200 episodes. Love it. Couldn't be doing, I can't think of, besides sleeping, getting some a little bit of extra shut eye. I can't think of anything better to do on either a Monday or Tuesday night but to hang out with everyone here with Sean and Mark and, just give you guys some good content for, colliding the worlds of sports and comics as usual. So for Mark, who'll be back next week, that's Sean. This is Mike. This is episode 173 of TCB, the Comic Bookies podcast. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace out. See y'all next week.
Peace.
All right, and let's try to do this. Peace. And always enjoy each other and enjoy a crazy wild card weekend. We love you guys. All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace. I love it, bro. Love it. That's hella funny. Every time Mark doesn't record, we always try to figure what would Mark say today.